They were the underdogs of underdogs. But Oregon State's 1966 basketball team was bound to spend one amazing winter, confounding the experts on a run to the Final Eight of the NCAA tournament. The Beavers were still in transition 2 years after the retirement of coaching legend Slatskill. Mel Counts and Jim Jarvis had led the Beavers to 3 straight postseason berths and a Final Four appearance. With no star and little experience, no one expected much of this team. They were picked no higher than 5th. But Paul Valenti had a plan. Spread the scoring around, concentrate on defense. After a 1-3 start to the season, the Beavers finished December with a flourish, winning the Far West Classic and holding all 3 opponents under 50 points. That set the tone for a team that blew through the conference schedule 12-2. OSU set a school record that still stands today, allowing an average of 54.5 points per game. Sophomore Lloyd Peterson emerged as the leading scorer at 13 per game. Walk-on junior center Ed Friedenberg was the top rebounder, and senior captain Charlie White, the 25-year-old community college product, held the whole thing together, winning All-America honors. The Beavers finished the regular season with a 14-point whipping of Oregon in front of a full house there at Gill Coliseum, then learned of their terrible first-round NCAA matchup. It was the Houston Cougars and big man Elvin Hayes, one of the favorites to win it all. Playing in Los Angeles, the Beavers stunned the highest scoring team in the country, holding the Cougars 40 points under the team average and limiting the Big E to just 14. Rick Whalen led the Beavs with 24 points, and OSU had pulled the upset 63-60. Delirious and exhausted following that win, there wasn't much left in the tank the very next day against Utah. The Beavers ended their season with a loss, but the 21-7 record and postseason run earned this Beaver team a place among the best of any Oregon State sport in school history. All right, Paul Valenti and Charlie White, come on up here. Oregon State, this is your chance. Come on up here,
Hello
Coach.
there, Billy.
Yes, sir.
How you doing,
Have
Billy?
a seat right there. Charlie.
Thank you.
Have a seat right there, please.
Thank you.
Ah, yes.
Okay, Billy.
You have anything else to do, folks? Mr. Valenti can talk forever. All right. Congratulations. And in all seriousness, you had a game plan back then. You had a vision. What was it about this team?
Well, Bill, we got started, and we lost Mel, and Jim Jarvis played in my first year, and we ended up 4th place in the conference. And gosh almighty, we look around, and we didn't have that dominant person like our 60, 61 team, say,
Yeah.
with Big Johnson and like Mel Counts and Swede Hal Brook, you know. We didn't have that kind of guy. We had a walk-on center. A walk-on center from Coos Bay. Ed Friedenberg.
Okay.
And then he played the year before. Then we had Charlie.
All right.
Charlie White. 2 years or 2.5 years in the Army. Played the first year for us. We ended up with Jarvis was playing. We lost Jarvis, so we start this 65-66 team season with those kind of guys. And then we had Scott Eaton, who played for Slats. Played quite a bit, didn't start. Good athlete, quick, strong, tough son of a buck. And then we had Rick Whalen
Favorite, that's the favorite.
I know.
Rick Whalen, who played for Slat some too, started some games, didn't play a lot, good shooter.
Yeah.
But 6'2" as a guard, great basketball feel. And then we had a sophomore by the name of Lloyd Peterson with great talent. Great talent. But he was a sophomore still. And Charlie took care of him.
Okay.
So I decided, so I thought, what are we going to do? I said, we can't play into the post. We can't get that to that offensive board and get much done there. I'm not going to have Fredenberg go in there at 6'7" and waste his energy against a guy 6'10", and Charlie and him and Lloyd going in there. So I said, we're gonna give up that offensive board, and we're gonna pull people off that offensive board. Old Jimmy Anderson and I talked about it all the time. And we're gonna teach those guys or work those guys that they could play defense, man to man. And I tell you, those guys, they could play that defense. So we take away the team's break, and make them set it up. Jeff Reinert, one of our coaches now, he says, yeah, but you didn't have the 35-second clock or whatever that thing is, you know. And I said, we shoot the ball way inside that 35 seconds most of the time. But anyhow, so we got with these guys. These guys could play that defense. Ed Fredenberg, very intelligent, an honor student in engineering. We'd prepare a plan on him to take the 6'10" center or the 6'8" center, and he played him the way we planned it. Never came off to help anybody. He'd just take care of that guy.
And it worked.
And it worked.
Charlie.
A lot of times.
What do you remember about that great team and things like that? It's your turn.
Well, it was a team effort. They did stress defense, which at the time we didn't mind playing. We had some pretty good athletes on our team. We weren't big, but we had some good athletes on our team. 3 of our guys went on to play professional sports, 2 in football and 1 in basketball. So we had good athletes, but we were a bunch of 6'4", 6'3" guys. But, you know, I think throughout the league, man for man, we could probably match up pretty much with anybody, maybe except at the center position, like Paul said, because most of the other teams had the big 6'8", 6'10" guy. But Ed was a smart player. And we always devised some type of way where Ed would front him, someone from the other side would come from the backside, give him a little help, or, you know, something like that. So I remember it as being a lot of fun. You know,
well, you excited a lot of people, I guarantee you.
Well, it was tough.
Paul was hard. Games.
Paul was tough, but we had tough but short practices, I remember. They started on time.
Okay.
Or he'd be yelling, you know. But they start on time, an hour 20 minutes, hour and a half.
That was it?
We were done.
Wow.
But we had to get the job done. Now, we didn't get anything done during that time, then, you know, that's a whole nother matter. But, you know, we'd come in and we'd take care of our business, and then we'd go our way. And it was a senior group, too, so sure. A lot of guys, you know, except, as you said, Lloyd being a sophomore.
Coach, you were tough, right?
No, I don't know.
He was tough, but in a good way. I mean, we knew he had our interest at heart.
Hey, you folks excited so many people back then, 65 and 66 OSU basketball, and I want you to stand with me because this is it. This team is going in. And Charlie and Coach Paul, on behalf of all your efforts, inducted September the 26th, 2006, the 1965-66 Oregon State University basketball team and all of its players enshrined in the State of Oregon Hall of Fame.
Hey, thank you, Billy.
You're welcome.
You bet, Billy.
And I'd like to say they're all here today.
They're all here back here.
They're all here.
Okay. Good for you. Good for you.